What a mess.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be.
Hi, how are you? So, this week, we're gonna finally get to wiring the LS Chaser. Finally, got the Haltech in. Open it up, go through it, tell you guys why I went with this and instead of the Holley. As you can tell, there's a space behind me. The MP3 Chaser actually made it out of here on its own power, and that's actually a huge thing because that's the corner where every car goes to die. Every car that's been dismantled there has been pulled out dismantled, never to see the road again. So anyway, I'll get to opening this up. So after a bunch of my friends told me to go with the Haltech, I did a little bit of research myself. This is how the harness comes. Pretty badass bag. You can use the bag, it's awesome. We've got O2 sensor, intake air temp sensor, and 2 bungs to weld them in. And then the holy grail itself, the Haltech. I got the Haltech Nexus Rebel LS. Self-learning, super solid ECU. I mean, Haltech's been around for decades at this point. My first car was an 88 ARC-7 FC GXL, and I had that running on a Haltech E8 in 2007, 2008, I think 2009. I LT1 swapped it. So anyway, so just the name in itself, I have a massive trust for. They've been in ECUs and tuning since beginning of time. They're an Australian company. They know what they're doing. So the biggest reasons I chose the Rebel over the Holley Terminator, the Terminator X, or the X Max, it's more flexible, it's more configurable, and they didn't just focus on one main harness for each LS motor, but instead they came with what they call a breakout harness, where each input or output has its own pigtail for any configuration of LS. So you can run 58 X2, you can run 24. The different cam sensors, you could buy the pigtail for the different cam sensors, or you could just swap 2 pins. EV1 injector harness. This is 2-pin alternator harness. I mean, 4-pin AC Delco harness. You get the point. It pretty much covers, I'm not gonna say any configuration, but most configurations that an LS can come in, including LQs, 5360 iron blocks. So, I mean, even though they're sold the harnesses are sold in 2 different part numbers, like I said, it's as easy as just buying the pigtails for whatever configuration you're running on your LS. It covers throttle cable and drive-by-wire right out of the box. It's got 8 inputs, 6 outputs that are all user configurable. I believe the Holley Terminators, I know the X comes with 4 and 4. So I mean, that alone is a big step. These ECUs have an integrated CAN. So if you need more outputs or inputs, you can get their PD16 and you can link up to 4 of those, which I think each of them have 8 outputs and 10 inputs, or it might be vice versa. Can't remember off the top of my head. This thing right out of the box has anti-lag, launch control, traction control, shock sensors. You want to run shock sensors for, you know, travel height or ride height sensors. This is all in here. You could run the IC7 dash right off rip. They have push button keypads, plugs right in, runs it without any extras. The biggest thing also for me is that it's Wi-Fi. That's like, I think that's revolutionary. That's absolutely sick, because you can literally hook it up, download the app on your phone, iPhone or Android, and you can hook it up to your app. You can make tuning changes, you can data log, you can pull DTCs if you have a check engine light or any kind of diagnostics. I mean, that's absolutely huge. And then for if you have an Android radio deck in your car, you could download the software on your radio, and you could quite literally make tuning changes or tune your car off your radio if you forget your laptop or the battery dies or something crazy like that. So I thought that was pretty wild. But I mean, super simple ECU, all metal case, it's crazy durable, people are loving it. And I mean, Haltech's they've been around for a while. Super pumped. This is one of the biggest pieces moving forward, and I mean, for the price, can't beat it. Absolutely can't beat it. So shout out to my boy Rolo, SupremePerformanceNA.com. Hooked me up with this. We're gonna get to wiring it up tonight and continue on tomorrow with seeing how we can integrate the stock fuse box in the car, try to keep everything in the car functioning as well. So let's get to it. Okay, just when we make a ton of progress, go to check my phone and it's dead. If anybody watching this does any kind of YouTube or vlogging or whatever, please give me suggestions for a good camera, because the iPhone thing is just not cutting it. Not cutting it at all. We'll do a little bit of a recap here on what we did. Intake is on. Fuel injectors are all wired up. Got all the sensors, all the grounds, one ground there, there's one behind the head there. Throttle body is completely fully hooked up, which is absolutely crazy, because the stock JZX throttle cable worked perfectly fine. What we're gonna do here is actually pull out one of the bolts for the intake cover, bolt it down there, and then get something back here to bolt it there, so it looks a little bit cleaner than that. But besides that, really all we got left is get an alternator. I do have to get an entire front accessory kit, but that's not really crazy priority just yet. We don't need it to run the motor. But get an alternator, wire that up, the fuel pump and the ignition, and this thing should fire. Should definitely get different coil packs, but those worked on the GTO. I'll make them work for here for now. I got the ICT billet relocation kit. Not 100% sure where I'm gonna put it. Gotta find a nice clean spot, and that's probably gonna change once the manifolds get fabbed up. But that's besides the point. But sadly, the car will not be firing tonight. I still have to go get the purple Chaser ready, loaded on the trailer, and got to run that down to Nick's so he could get it tuned tomorrow, because we got selected for the car show, the Greatest Garage Car Show for the LZ World Tour, and that's next weekend. So we got to get the car tuned by Nick. He's got a little bit of fab work to do as well, and then I would like to drive it all week long to make sure it's good to make the trip down to Jersey.
What are you doing, guy?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Time takes this thing to get tuned.
Tune. Tune. Some other things to finish with it. Charge pipes. Made. And then a tune.
Now we're taking it to Nick, our boy Nick, out in New Milford, Connecticut. He's gonna take care of welding up the 90-foot turbo and doing a charge pipe so it goes all the way into the fender. Do the downpipe to the rest of the exhaust, a heat shield, and a couple small odds and ends.
And then some magic.
And some keyboard magic. Damn it. Where's Evan when you need him? Oh, God. What a mess. There she be.
Use this one.
Nah. I might have pushed the exhaust back. Hi, how are you? What is good? What is good? What have you been up to?
Knows what's going on. Wait for my car to blow up. That's not nice.
That's easy.
I brought one.
Blows up every time.
Okay.
Just so for you to look at if they don't. Because he said it wasn't the steel.
Yeah.
Look at that hanging up on the wall. Look at that hanging up on the wall.
Yeah.
It sounds cool in the ball out there.
It does. How'd the clutch feel? All right.
It feels like it might need one eventually, but
It's stock, so.
it definitely slipped second a little. I did a good one too, and it hazed it a little bit.
Yep. So what really did it was, I didn't realize the car had traction control.
Yeah.
So the first burn I ever did in this thing, I left traction control on.
Not too big. That one would work, but getting it because he has the racing one in there.
Well, that's my ways.
That's yours, right?
Yeah, we had to switch.
I was like, I can't afford these. That was $250. So.
The only thing I honestly think that HKS boost controller is pretty lethargic because it like doesn't react as fast as most normal ones do. It seems like.
Does it? Should I just get a regular Mac valve? Like a.
Yeah, like a new one.
Yeah. All right.
It works, like it controls boost fine, but it spikes like 18, 19, and then holds like 17.
Okay.
So, not bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
With the stick for you?
Get the car back and we break it.
What happened?
Oh, wait till you see that tire.
Oh, whoa!
Wait till you see the tire.
They got down with the picture.
Good thing we're here for moral support.
Do you just go until you feel something?
That's what I do. Just go till you feel something.
Whoa! Did you see that? What?
And you almost hit my car.
Some big one.
Shout out John Moe for letting him borrow his wheels for 6 months.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask if we should drop them off while we're down here, but kind of need it. Sorry, John.
It's
Go
good.
ahead.
Oh wow! That's why it was vibrating, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that we drove back from Connecticut like this.
Thanks, Nick Christopher, for letting this happen too.
Oh, he didn't let it happen.
No, he was
warned
mad.
me. He was mad.
I'm not surprised.
He literally called me. He's like, you know your tires if it blows out while I'm tuning it, it's not my problem. I said I accept. So
It's fair.
I said that. Imagine he's doing a pull, the tire balls out, and he freaking wrecks.
Gee, that'd be real awkward.
that would be real awkward. I'd feel bad. I wouldn't even care about the car. I'd feel bad.
I don't think it'd be Nick's first running with crashing the car.
When tuning, probably.
Well, it's pretty probably.
And a customer's car at that?
I mean, customer provided a bad battery first, and then a bad tire.
A battery.
We brought him a battery at least.
A brand new battery.
All I know is you gave him the car.
Pete spent over $1,000. We'll spend over $1,000 for batteries.
And whose fault is that? Alright, got it. Bad mistake.
Real Gadugas.
Got it.
Here, take your messed up tires. Walking away.
Might as well pop it. You got a knife? Oh! Just so everyone knows, Peter fully intended to drive home on this tire tonight.
100%. You guys are talking me out of it. I think it would have made it.
Or he would have made it into a pole. So it's either way, you know. He would have made it somewhere.
It would have went somewhere.
I told him if he blew the tire out, I was driving straight home. I wasn't stopping to help him.
That's more than a reasonable reaction.
Is that reasonable?
Let's get a better look at this bad boy real quick.
Look at that.
Someone stabbed with a knife.
I have one.
No, don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, well, the car's back home. Despite the mini little shit show we had with the tire, the car feels absolutely phenomenal. Nick killed it. The work, the welding, everything's super nice, super clean. He paid such good attention to all the little details, and it looks great, feels great, ton of power, and I can't wait to go E. Got to stud the head too, but we'll probably squeeze a little bit more out of her, make it a nice street car. So with that, close it down, and waiting on some more parts for the LS Chaser so I could finish up the suspension all in one shot, waiting for all the rear arms, and then continue on with the wiring, try to get this thing running. Next week, we're going to be going over the car, over the purple Chaser, making sure, doing nut and bolt checks on the whole car, make sure it's ready for the ride down to New Jersey and going to the LZ World Tour. We'll see you guys there.